It is Letter Media Live for a Thursday. I'm Dan Ramey. He's Mike Smith, the chuckling Mike Smith.
Our producer, it's kind of like this.
Usually when you wait for a cue, it's like,
yeah, we want a crisp.
Something direct.
We want a crisp, Aaron. We don't want this. I'm throwing a wimpy.
You've been to basketball games where you see an official just kind of going through the motions, like, okay, we got traveling, as opposed to being, I got a call like, right here.
Soul Train dancing.
Going this way.
Or no, who's doing this now? Who do you see doing this on?
Trump.
You think Abraham Lincoln did that when he was president? Yeah.
He might have.
I'm just trying to relax over here.
You're just chilling. He's chilling.
We need to put an advertisement on his sole of his shoe.
These shoes are endorsed by,
Okay, we have to look for a new sponsor and find that. Welcome to the program as we jump into Thursday. It's almost the Memorial Day weekend.
I can't believe it.
And people
what
are
happened to Easter.
Well, exactly.
Christmas.
People are focused upon the weather for their outdoor graduation ceremonies and that sort of thing. I know there's most of everyone's graduated already, but they have some more this weekend.
This isn't exactly the weekend you want to just sit out by the picnic table or the pool.
Sure.
Yeah.
It's a heated pool.
Yeah, really. Rain is a possibility for today. There are chances of some showers now through probably mid-afternoon, but nothing heavy, nothing severe. Most of the future cast that I'm seeing, it's kind of like a light to moderate shower. We're expecting some clearing for Friday and Saturday with temperatures staying in the upper 50s to low 60s as a high through Sunday. As we said, rain could be back in the picture for Sunday through midweek of next week.
I wasn't here yesterday because we were there for Miss Amelia's graduation.
Dr. Amelia. Yeah.
Yes. Yeah, well, that won't be until 2045, yes.
Yeah, I read your post.
I appreciate that. I forgot my computer, so I went back home before coming into work yesterday. So I get home and I notice there were some packages on the front porch. Like, okay, FedEx must have been here while we had left the house. And so I thought I better get those because you never know because they're sitting right on the front porch. And so I walk through the house, I get through the front door, pick up the packages, I set the packages down. No sooner did I shut and lock the door, rain just came down. And it rained straight for 3 minutes, and it was almost a half inch of rain.
Wow.
And so I messaged Missy. I sent her a picture of the packages. I said, good thing I came home to get my computer, or else these things have been soaked.
I thought you were going to tell me you pulled an Aaron Glandon.
Oh, locked myself out of the house? No.
Twice.
No.
Maybe three for all we know, yeah. He's afraid. He's ashamed to call us now because it's happened, so many times with you and I going to get him.
If you've helped Aaron Glandon get back into his house at any point in time, tell us.
We want to know.
Because we want to broadcast the information. I don't know that I've ever locked myself out of our home in 30 plus years.
I can't remember if I have. If I did, I've locked myself out of the car.
I've done that.
Yeah.
And I locked myself out of the house several times as a kid, and our back window, our back door at the house had several panes to it, and I would go to the garage, get a screwdriver, and I'd take that little frame off and then get my way through the window and unlock the door. And I don't know how many times Dad said, somebody's broke into the house. And it was me, Dad. Don't do that again.
If you are a motorist that lives in Ross County, do me a favor, lock your cars. I almost got in somebody else's car again last night. It looked just like mine. The crazy thing, when I realized that that's not my car, when I was walking away, it was like the car was beeping like my key fob worked on it. That's not supposed to happen.
Yeah.
So car manufacturers, check into that, yeah.
Well, I know at Paint Valley last year, football, I had left the car. I was going to the press box to put some of the equipment up there for our broadcast. And I could hear a car beeping, and I thought, what's going on? And so I go walking back through by the ticket window, and the guy at the ticket window says, I think you left your door open to your car. And sure enough, that was the case.
Wow.
Good thing I had more to get.
Come on in, everybody. It's just sit in Dan's car.
This is what happens.
Better than an autograph. You sat in Dan's car.
This is what happens when you find yourself being the pack mule for all of our equipment. Coming up in just a moment, we'll take a look at what's making news for us across the Scioto Valley, and we'll also have sports. Today is Thursday. We will have our Petland Litter Media Pet of the Week coming up in just moments, and a look at this date in history. That's all just ahead. But first, let's tell you about Scioto Valley Dumpsters. 740-253-8389 is the number to call if you have need for a dumpster at your business or your place of residence. Scioto Valley Dumpsters. Click on this ad anywhere you see it on our website, littermedia.com, and it takes you to their Facebook page for Scioto Valley Dumpsters. 740-253-8389.
Dixie Chopper. Speed when you need it.
Visit your local Dixie Chopper dealer today or visit dixiechopper.com.
Each week, we'll announce the Neil Coleman Insurance Wyandotte Mutual Litter Media Player of the Week, presented by Homeland Credit Union. And in December, we'll announce the Player of the Year. Nominate any amateur athlete by visiting littermedia.com and click on Player of the Week. You'll also see the players we've named throughout the year. Make your nomination today for the Neil Coleman Insurance Wyandotte Mutual Litter Media Player of the Week, presented by Homeland Credit Union.
Find a career you love with Pickaway Ross Adult Education. Skilled trades careers are in high demand with no signs of slowing down. Pickaway Ross offers career training programs with expert instructors and hands-on learning tactics to create a variety of opportunities. Visit our website for more information.
You can follow along with some of what we're going to be sharing with you today on our website, littermedia.com. You'll find all of our social media contact information, and see those icons in the upper right-hand corner? Go there. That gives you Litter Media Radio, our Spotify, YouTube, X, as well as Facebook. And I can't remember if there's something else up there or not. Go find out at littermedia.com.
Our lead story has drawn a lot of interest on our website over the last 24 hours. Petty Officer 3rd Class Byron Heid, a native of Waverly, was recently named 2025 Junior Sailor of the Year for Navy Medicine Readiness and Training Command out of Charleston, South Carolina. The Junior Sailor of the Year award is an accolade given to an exemplary sailor selected by a board of senior enlisted out of multiple competitive entries for their accomplishments. And we salute you, Byron.
Congratulations. Ohio University has once again earned the Military Friendly Schools designation for the 2025-26 academic year. It marks the 14th consecutive year the institution has received the honor. This year, Ohio University achieved gold status in the Tier 1 Research Institution category, a reflection of its deep and ongoing commitment to students, veterans, and military-connected learners. The Military-Friendly Schools list is compiled annually by Victory Media, a veteran-owned organization that publishes GI Jobs magazine. Also, Ashley Patton was in studio yesterday. Ashley runs the Covering. It's called The Covering. She joined us in studio to talk about The Covering, which is a ministry-based recovery shelter for women in need. Patton personally was an addict for 20 years and then found the help she needed when the Refuge accepted women. The Refuge went back to accepting only men, and she and some of the women launched The Covering in Circleville. She tells us recovery only starts when one hits rock bottom.
I keep thinking, is there another way? Is there another way to this? And I just have not seen that. You have to come to the end of yourself before you come to a very low point where you're ready to let others teach you how to live. Yeah. And that's what it takes. You know, we want to unravel everything that they've learned because it's not done them any good to this point. Mm-hmm. And I had to be taught, you know, everything from the very beginning. You know, the Lord's ways are not any of our ways. Mm-hmm. And so it's almost like when these women come in, they're kids. And so we're teaching them how to do everything, and we're rewiring everything they've ever been taught or they've learned.
You can learn more when you visit their website, thecovering686.com. The Ross County Historical Society invites you to the Juneteenth celebration. It features a reception and program for the grand opening of their newest exhibit, Unheard Voices, a selective history of African-American men and women of Chillicothe and Ross County. That'll be Saturday, June 21st, 2025, from 2 until 4 p.m. And don't forget, the Pump House Center for the Arts will have a Juneteenth celebration. I'll be telling you about that in the coming days. And the Feast of the Flowering Moon is a great time to go down and see the caboose and the Railroad Museum. I was invited to go down there. I said, I'm going to try and do it before the feast. I guess today's the day. So we need to get down and check that out.
I guess that would help. Yes, our road report is in Ross County today. Work for a bridge replacement project on State Route 207 between Rincliffe Lane and Stone Road. Work will occur daily for the construction, which has 207 closed in that area. Now, detours are State Route 138 to US 35 to State Route 104, and that work will be going through most of this spring, which officially is through June 21st.
So apparently your microphone wasn't on for...
I don't know how long it was off.
Okay, Mike projects, so you probably could have heard him off of this microphone. I'm not one who projects with a voice.
He's kind of wimpy.
In fact, if you could see, we have sliders for the volume control on this.
Not the hamburgers.
Mine and Aaron's is all the way up. Mike's not so much because he projects.
I'm bold.
He is
Moses. No.
You were a thespian at some point in time, right?
You know, I was not. Other than maybe in.
I thought you were Rutherford B. Hayes.
Well, I don't count that.
Yeah.
When I was in church, I had Christmas plays and things like that. But yeah, I couldn't memorize my lines very well. So
did you say rememberize?
Rememberize. I couldn't memorize my lines, so that's why the theater rejected me. Yeah.
Yeah, that's always been a problem for me too. Otherwise, I'd be able to have all this information right here. Now, music, no problem. We had to memorize our music in marching band and everything, and because it was kind of embarrassing if you found music on your lyre.
But I've read there's something to music that makes it easier to remember.
It's melodious.
Yeah, it's in your brain. It just. I mean, how many times are we singing a tune? It may be you got a chicken to ride instead of you got a ticket to ride, but you remember the tune. That was a great commercial years ago. You got a chicken to ride. Songs that you got the lyrics wrong all these years.
I've forgotten about that.
Yeah.
Coming up, a look at sports. But first, let's tell you about Accurate Heating, Cooling, and Plumbing, your trusted comfort advisor for almost 50 years. They started this in 1977. Incredible. Tom White, of course, launched this, and now Michael Linton is in with him to continue the service of Accurate Heating, Cooling, and Plumbing. They've expanded greatly, and so is their territory. You want to find out more about what they do? Click on this ad anywhere you see it at littlemedia.com. It takes you to AccurateHVAC.com.
Whenever I first applied for the Archways opportunity, do I have to pay this back? Do I have to do that? Like, is it a loan? And it's not. It's a scholarship. A goal of mine is to graduate college debt-free. If you're a crew member, you get $2,500 a year, and if you're a manager, you get $3,000. And especially if you're going locally to college, like to the branch or something like that, it's really helpful.
This is Andy Tomlinson. When ensuring what's important to you, our agents are there when you need us the most. Tomlinson Insurance, for the best coverage at the best cost. Visit us online at tomlinsonins.com to learn more.
The Bean Foundation wants to raise awareness about suicide prevention by sharing 988. Trained crisis counselors are available to talk 24/7, 365 days a year. 988. Save the number. Save a life. To learn more about the Bean Foundation, click on this ad on littermedia.com.
Hometown Motors Incorporated continues with their spring sales event. If you want to find a new lawn tractor, you will find it starting at $1699.99. New zero-turn mower starting at $3399.99. New chainsaw starting at $279.99. Having a new walk-behind mower, $399.99. And new trimmers starting at $229.99. And new blowers starting at $199.99. Hurry in to get the best selection. I've been down to Hometown Motors recently, which you'll find on the screen right here. And I tell you, you're seeing spaces because stuff's going out the door. And we want to make sure that you get yours. Hurry in to Hometown Motors Incorporated, your store for the outdoors. Time for sports, and we begin with
the Southeast District High School Baseball Coaches Association has announced their all-district teams. This will be for divisions 3 through 7. I think I said 2 through 7 on the radio version earlier, but it's actually 3 through 7. Jackson's Josh McGraw is the D3 Coach of the Year. Unioto's Tony Taylor is D4 Coach of the Year. James Flowers of Lynchburg Clay in D5. Huntington's Chad Carroll in D6. And sharing the honors in D7 are Ryan McClintock of South Webster and Kylan Crabtree of Portsmouth Clay. They don't choose a Player of the Year.
Really?
It was just Coaches of the Year mentioned. And last night in tournament play, baseball, Chillicothe, woohoo, got by Warren 10-5. So the Cavs move on to the district semifinals. Athens edged Hillsborough 1-0. Marietta Sheridan postponed to today. D5 winners include Piketon, Northwest, Minford, Wheelersburg, Portsmouth, and Fairland, all advancing to today. D6 baseball, Huntington, Manchester, Southeastern, all winners. Peebles at Eastern Brown moved to today. In softball, Dan, would you do the honors there?
the Taste Valley Vikings blanked Franklin Heights 22-0 in the Division II district semifinals. Westerville North was a winner over Logan 7-4. Dover beat Sheridan. Sheridan beat Chillicothe 1-0.
Yep.
Sheridan got it back thanks to Dover. The Tornadoes winning that one in the D3 district final. Jackson was the winner over Waverly 5-0 in the D4. Logan Elm over Galley Academy 3-1. Circleville and South Point are tied, and they'll resume in the 9th inning today. And what time would that resume? Probably 5 o'clock?
They have not told us on the bracket.
Okay.
So.
Okay. Division 5, Wellston, Northwest, Zane Trace picking up wins. Piketon, Colegrove, and Peebles all victorious. And Division 7, Notre Dame and Portsmouth Clay. And if we want to see more scores, just go to our website, littermedia.com.
And Litter Media Radio will have the Division 4 District Softball Championship game from Logan High School tomorrow between Logan Elm and Jackson. Game time is 3 p.m. and airtime at 2:50. Now, if the Circleville South Point game can be completed today, that would be the nightcap tomorrow, which we would also broadcast. But if it rains that completion out today and they have to move it to Saturday, it would just be a single broadcast on Friday.
I would think also if it extended into another 9 innings, those kids would be
you wouldn't want to. That wouldn't be fair
back the next
to
day,
have to
right.
come right back. No.
Deer Creek Dam Days is coming up next weekend, and we'll see Braxton Miller and Cardale Jones, two of the highfalutin quarterbacks for the Ohio State football Buckeyes a few years ago. They will be there at 10:30 a.m. on May 31st. You want to check them out. Reds and the Pirates. Reds made the Pirates look pretty good.
They did.
It's a shame. I mean, the pitching was there for the Reds. Can't fault that. But it was the Pirates getting the uplift they've needed. And so the Reds have lost 2 straight. Now they have the Cubs coming to town at Great American Ballpark. And the Guardians topped the Twins 5-1 yesterday. And that's a look at sports. Just ahead, we will tell you about our Petland, Litter Media Pet of the Week. That's on the way next.
But first of all, we want to talk about the fine folks at Litter Quality Propane. There's no bill when there's a fill. Contact Litter Quality Propane today about their metered gas service at litterpropane.com.
Discover Ross County. From the breathtaking outdoor adventures to the historic sights of Chillicothe and family-friendly events and festivals. Explore more at visitchillicotheohio.com or download the free mobile app today.
Life. It can get on top of you quickly, can't it? But with 211, it only takes one step to get connected to the help you need. 211 is always available to help. So get in touch today.
Introducing the Petland Litter Media Pet of the Week. We want to put your pet in the spotlight. Pets with paws to pets with fins. If they gallop, crawl, or slither, play fetch, or simply curl up and snuggle. Send us a photo of your pet and we'll announce a new pet each week. And one pet will be crowned Pet of the Year. To nominate your pet, visit littermedia.com. Click on Pet of the Week. Tell us about your pet and be sure to include a photo. Watch Litter Media Live each Thursday for the announcement of the Petland Litter Media Pet of the Week. No purchase necessary.
Contest applications must be from Ohio residents and at least 18 years old.
And it is time now for our Petland Litter Media Pet of the Week. It is Gracie, an 8-year-old border collie mix. Owner Becky Mathis tells us that Gracie's a land and water cadaver canine and recently passed her therapy dog evaluation through Pet Partners of Greater Cincinnati. She loves to meet people and get all the attention as well that comes with meeting people. Her favorite people to visit are local firefighters, police officers, and dispatchers. She is one special dog. Congratulations to Gracie. Now, to nominate your pet, email littermedia@gmail.com. Tell us about your pet, and remember to send us a photo of your pet, too. And in December, we'll select the Pet of the Year, and you'll get a prize from Petland. You can see all the pets at littermedia.com. Congratulations, Gracie. Time now for This Date in History.
2 monumental visits by President Richard Nixon of the United States in 1972. One of them was on this date today. President Nixon tries to cool off tensions with the Soviet Union with a summit to Moscow on this date. Talks led to agreement on limiting nuclear weapons known as the SALT Treaty, and also opened the door for joint space travel between the two countries, which they're still doing to this day with the International Space Station. The other biggie was the visit to China. And the thinking at that time was that Nixon was actually trying to play the Soviets and the Chinese against each other. But what's happened? We turned China from a backward, even though they had nuclear weapons at that time, economically they were backward country, and now they are a world behemoth as far as economy.
And we owe them how much?
Yeah, they own half of our. So was that at the time? This looked like a stroke of brilliance, but now as time passes on, we go back and wonder, was that such a good idea?
I think I had known about the Great Wall of China, but when Nixon went over, that was the first time I remember seeing video of the Great Wall of China. And said have been, what year was it, 1970?
Well, this was 72.
72, so I'd have been 10 years old at the time. And,
you know, when that was built, that was, I don't know, is that one of the wonders of the world? One of the,
I believe so, yeah.
I mean, that is a magnificent structure considering when it was built and how many miles that thing goes.
Well, Jeremiah Johnson, in one of our special segments we had this week at Talking Cybersecurity, he used the Great Wall of China in his explanation about all these little, if you took one brick, that would be like a gigabyte. And he said it was, 2,800 miles long?
Wow.
I failed to look and check and confirm on that, but that's a lot of bricks.
That's a lot of bricks.
And I can't remember how long it took to build the Great Wall of China. But And I've heard people talk about going and walking. It would take days to walk the Great Wall of China.
Right. And it's not all flat. I mean, it's over mountains and like that.
I can't remember how tall it is. Is it like 20 feet high?
Something like that. Just from, looking at pictures, I'm guessing that's probably how tall it was. And it didn't keep the hordes from getting over top of it. They found a way. Yeah.
Resourceful, just like other borders we know about.
Yeah.
So, all right, that's a look at today's program for you. Tomorrow, will you be able to make it tomorrow?
I'll be here.
But I mean,
no.
You're just going to leave me hanging.
I'm going to leave. Well, you're the star anyway. You're the star. Yeah. Making a radio appearance tomorrow.
Yes. Lori Graves, who you've seen on this program, she'll be recording a program with me tomorrow after I make an appearance on her show tomorrow. Mike has something going on at home, and he's not allowed to leave the house until a certain time.
Not allowed to leave the house.
Laura's got him chained up, and then
But then we have a special edition here tomorrow morning.
Yes,
with representatives of Adam H at about 10.
Yeah. So if you're listening to Hank FM, which is 100.9 WXIZ,
where both of us worked,
right?
Not as Hank, but as 100.9.
Yeah. And was it XIZ when you were there?
Started out as WIBO and then flipped to XIZ later that summer.
But while you were employed there, okay. Because I couldn't recall if you had actually worked there, but when Jerry Davis came along, he applied and changed the call letters. And so if I remember correctly, the call letters were something from a U.S. battleship or something like that.
IBO? Of course, everybody remembers the old AM, WPKO, affectionately known as PUCO. PUCO. But it was one of those nice studios where they would have bands and things like that come in to perform in studio, and those were the days we weren't old enough to have been a part of that.
And we tried to bring some of that back when we were at WBEX. I know when Rock for Tots came along, we said, hey, let's bring some of the bands in. And it was really cool. Marty Ford would come in with Luke. Help me remember Luke's last name.
I don't
it's horrible.
Luke.
The original.
Sorry, Luke.
The original Marty Ford Experience.
See, Marty was just that headline guy.
He was, yeah.
His star just dimmed everybody.
So we had a lot of fun with that. Jerry Sally came in and performed for us in the morning. And then I started inviting like the Chillicothe choir to come in during Christmas. And we would have kids throughout the studio and even had to open the studio door to the hallway to let them perform.
Yeah, our studio was much smaller than some of the ones we're talking about from yesteryears.
Those were more like what you would see in War of the Worlds, the old one, which was showing the radio studio, which they would bring orchestras in.
Oh, yeah.
And things like that. But not so much the case like we have here today. Because here you just see us up against the flowers.
In the water.
In the water. Yeah. All right, before we go any further into the water, let's go ahead and wrap the program up. Thank you so much for watching. Back at it again tomorrow here with another edition of Litter Media Live.